Episode 10. How are we doing, everybody? Well, double figures. We're here. Episode 10. Wow. Been pretty lucky with the weather recently, haven't we? 2 days of, it's forecasted to be nice on Friday today, but yesterday, God, that was nice. It was like 18 degrees when I stepped outside. It was beautiful. Episode 10. Come on, what are we going to be talking about today? So, Run Across Africa has been completed. We mentioned it in the top 5 last week, but it's been completed. He did it on Sunday, and yeah, let's just figure out everything about that. Let's go across his adventure, how far he's covered, what happened when he was running, what happened, just figuring out everything that happened with him. And then because it's 10th episode, we're double figures in. We're going to be looking at the past episodes. And you know what? We're going to be doing a bit of a tier list. I might be calling myself out a little bit here, but we'll be doing a tier list of the past 9 episodes. So, yeah, let's get stuck straight into it, everyone. Right, so if you're chronically online like me, you've probably seen this, and we touched on it a tiny bit on the podcast last week because he was about to finish it. He was like 3 days away from finishing. He was going into Tunisia he was like really far into Tunisia. But anyway, Russell Cook, hardest geezer. I think that's what he goes by on Twitter. But have you been on Twitter for the past year? Because I mean that's how long he's been doing it. To be fair, if you've been going on Twitter for the past year, you will see that, you know, you'd be aware of this. So Russ Cook, hardest geezer, has been running across the whole entirety of Africa, starting in South Africa, then reached the furthest northern point of Africa, which was in Tunisia. And he completed it on Sunday. Lots of news coverage. Sky News were waiting there, of course, with a mic, and I think a lot of people joined him for the run for the last mile. The Lad Bible sent someone out there, and it was just like a bunch of locals and probably British people that went over to Tunisia, because I know quite a lot of people do like to go to Tunisia. It's a nice cheap place to go on holiday. But yeah, finished his run in Tunisia. He ran a total of 16,250 kilometres. That is fantastic. I'd take my hat off to you, Russ, because that is brilliant. 16,250 kilometres. I could barely do the 800 metre in high school. I struggled doing that. Never mind running 16,250 kilometres. I mean, in all fairness, it's the whole entire length of Africa. But God, so far. That's miles. I don't even know how he's managed that without dying. 351 days it took him. He did a total of 385 marathons. Oh my goodness. People train for this stuff, train for a marathon for a year. But I think when I was looking at it, he was doing about like 2 marathon, doing about 50 kilometers a day, something around that figure. But he, at the beginning, about like 100 days in, I say at the beginning, he was like, 90, 100 days in, he like was getting like doctor's advice because his like we started looking like iron brew, he stated. And he wasn't in good shape at all, so he had to reduce the amount that he was running. So yeah, 385 marathons, wow. Going across 16 countries, I bet that was brilliant. Seeing a lot of Africa there, aren't you? And 500, this is the most important figure, 574 grand raised for charity. He didn't just do it because he thought, do you know what? Why not? I'll just go run the length of Africa for the sake of it. I'll just do it for no reason. 574k raised for charity. It's going to like a runner's one or something. That is brilliant. Fair point. I feel like it should be more because we get like stuff like comic relief and stuff, which is obviously huge. They raise millions. I think he should have reached the million mark. What he was doing is absolutely fantastic. No one else would do that as well. There's probably not another person in the world who would do it. I wonder if he fancies joining the Olympic team after this. Would he be running for England and like, imagine him over like 800 metres. He'd be whelming. He just ran the length of Africa. Surely he's the prime athlete for it. I know we got the Olympics coming up this summer, I'm pretty sure, in Paris. Get him in there so he can do runs, although it's probably going to take him about a year to recover. Saying that, he celebrated with a strawberry daiquiri at the end. And that got me thinking, what would your drink be at the end of the marathon? Like the last drink, because obviously he's probably just been drinking water all the way. and he's gone and got himself a strawberry daiquiri at the end. That's probably a really good drink. I think I'd go for like a milkshake or something, like a nice Oreo milkshake, but make sure it's freezing cold and it's still in the metal cup that they blend it in. Oh, that'd be brilliant after such a long run. But I would need water as well because it'd be absolutely burning hot and I'll be dehydrated as anything. And a milkshake isn't going to be sorting out my dehydration. But some stuff that happened to him on the way on his journey up to the most northern point in Africa. He was held at gunpoint and in a robbery at one point. So these African men or women, I don't know, it didn't specify, but they came up to him and held him at gunpoint and tried to rob him of stuff. Surely they got to understand the situation and just go like, oh, maybe we should pass on him. This is a guy that's trying to run the whole entire length of Africa and is raising 500 grand for charity. We should probably let him pass, but they probably don't care. They probably wanted a bit of that money for themselves. But held at gunpoint, wow. How he even continued after that, I don't know. I'd be terrified for the way there because I think it was fairly early on as well. He was held by men with machetes in the Congo. Absolutely mental. What is going on over there in Central Africa? Held at gunpoint, and then he goes, and then in another country, he's held at point with machetes. That'd be terrifying. Oh my days! How do you even get out of that situation? What do you even do? What do you even say? Did he have like a translator? Did he have like an ally with them or something where they just kind of get free pass everywhere? Because I find that mental. He must have done so much research into where he's going just to make sure to steer wide of the really like bad areas where a lot of crime goes on and that. And also, he did have a bit of trouble getting into Algeria to the point where the Algerian embassy over here in the UK stepped in and said, don't worry, mate, we'll get you a visa. Because he wasn't able to get a visa, which means he's not allowed in the country. And that held him a little bit to get to try and finish his run a little bit earlier. But he made it. Shout out to the Algerian embassy in the UK. You sorted out the hardest geezer with a nice little visa just so he could complete his run. And at the end, I thought this was brilliant. He just told Sky News at the end of his run, he's a little tired. Just about, mate. Just about. You've only ran 16,250 kilometers across 351 days. Yeah, I wouldn't be alive. I don't think I would have made it out of South Africa. I would have pulled the cord there. I'd be like, sorry guys, I really underestimated this. Like, that's brilliant. Just saying, oh, I'm a little tired. Oh, mate, of course you are. No need to like flex on us a bit. Honestly, get him in the Olympics. But I wonder if I saw some people shouting for him to be in Sports Personality of the Year. I wonder if that's possible. But it technically isn't. It technically isn't a sport. That's the thing. I mean, he is running, but he's not like, in a sanctioned sport. I wonder if they're the rules for it. Because if he was like able to qualify for it, I think 100% he should. I mean, people are saying Luke Layla, what, a 17-year-old that just scrams kebab and throws darts at a board. He shouldn't be winning Sports Personality. I mean, he is a bit of a personality, but this Russ Cook guy, what a lad. There's a reason why he's called the hardest geezer. He probably gave himself that name, but he is. I think he is the hardest geezer. The guy is an absolute nutter for doing this. An absolute nutter. And just had like the cherry on top for that sentence I just said before that he said about, he's only a little tired. He just says he's a normal bloke, which might be true. He might just be a normal bloke. However, you have just ran the whole length of Africa. I don't know many normal blokes that do that. You don't go down to the pub and start conversation with someone and go, oh, mate, if you ran the whole length of Africa, yeah, it's a pretty normal thing to do. Yeah, running the length of Africa is not a normal thing to do. Russ, mate, it's amazing. It's absolutely fantastic. You are not a normal bloke. You are above average bloke for cutting about. You might have had a normal life before it, but God, running the length of Africa, mate, that does not make you a normal bloke. You are an absolute nutter for doing that, but also a great person because you've raised so much money for charity. But I didn't realise he had a past about running as well. He previously ran from London to Istanbul. What a trek that is. Fair play to him as well. Did he run across the water, I wonder? I wonder if he did that. Started cutting about across the water. I mean, he probably would have just got the Eurostar or something. He might have, do you think he did like lengths up and down it to like see, to try and get the distance in between the channel and stuff? If he did that, that'd be mint. And he was also buried alive for a week. That's not really anything to do with running, but buried alive for a week. This man is a nutter. London to Istanbul as well. and the whole entire length of Africa. What is he doing? Is he trying to like kill himself? Is this a legal way of doing euthanasia or something? This is absolutely this is mental. And there's people that are already trying to discredit him as well, saying that, oh well, someone else did this before. Just have a day off. What is the point of trying to discredit him for what he's done? He's raised 570 grand for charity, and the stuff that he's gone through, held at gunpoint, threatened with machetes. This guy is a different beast. Stop trying to discredit him. He's raised $500,000 for charity. This guy is a good man. What is the actual point of trying to discredit him for running the length of Africa? What is the game? You're just trying to get a news story out of it, and that's it. It's probably like Daily Mail or something doing it, isn't it? Oh, they love a good pop, don't they? It just like English media. Chill out, man. God, don't discredit him. He's just ran the length of Africa. Something I saw that was funny as well. It was Russ to be on Diary of the CEO within the next week at Request a Bet.
This was the no-brainer. This was the banker. This was the one that couldn't fail. This was one that's never failed.
Gary Neville's right there. It probably is the no-brainer and the banker, because he will be on there. He'll be talking with that lad off Dragons Den about his run and probably some inspirational stuff, and then he'll probably slip in a Huel advert as well. God, that was annoying through YouTube, where I'd be trying to watch a video and it just cut to the Diary of a CEO guy just promoting his Huel product. But hey, Russ, what a man. You're a good person if you've ran the whole entire length of Africa, being held at gunpoint, being threatened with machetes. You're a good man if you've raised 570 grand for charity or whatever stupid figure it was. Russ, good on you, lad. Oh, what does this mean? It couldn't possibly be the episode tier list, eh? So if you couldn't get the gist, we're going to be going through 1 through 9 of the past 9 episodes of The Sam Show. And what a great... I think this isn't a burden on any of them, because they're all good in their own ways, but let's give it a little round. Let's reflect a little bit. Give your opinion as well whilst you're coming along. That's if you listen to everyone, and I hope you have listened to everyone as well. Sorry if you're a new listener and you're just joining us on episode 10, but hopefully you have. Go back and listen to them if you're just joining us now as well. So obviously, episodes 1 to 9, let's just go through them. We have The Beginning, Back Again, Podcast Royale, Let's See Paul Allen's episode, Blue Friday, 6 Times Lad, SS7, The Podcast Strikes Back, Jurassic Podcast, and Podcast Royale. I think I said that. Yes, I did say it. I looked at the list there. It's just on my most recent listened on Amazon Music. That's why. That's the streaming service I use. Obviously, we're available on every single streaming platform you can think of. Get us on YouTube. Get us on Spotify, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, wherever you like to listen to it. But let's go straight through it. I'm going to start with number 9. And like I said, this isn't a burden on any of them. We're just reflecting. We're 10 episodes in. This is nearly 3 months in. We're 3 months into the podcast. We're in April now. Currently April the 12th. Come on, summer's round the corner. Lovely summer, sunny weather. I've actually got the curtains open whilst I'm recording it. I got the curtains open. Got a nice bit of light coming through. Thought I'd expose myself to a bit of vitamin D instead of being locked in my little cube of a studio with a LED light on or whatever. I don't know, the halogen lights. Yeah. I mean, this isn't a light podcast, so don't be expecting me to know anything about lights. But look, anyway, we're going to be talking about it. Number 9, and I've gone for SS7 here. SS7. It was we talked about lockdown, royal family drama, then of course top 5 best moments of the week. The thing is over this one, I remember with this one when I was creating it, it's a little bit. But when a bad week happens, and when I mean a bad week, I don't mean like something bad's really happened to me. Content-wise, it can be a bit of a struggle, and you're just kind of like pulling at stuff. Like, I don't want to be doing tier lists every episode and turn into like one of those podcasts that just does them, because that just becomes a bit boring and repetitive. I want to talk about different things, and it really makes you work. I guess it kind of shows your skills in a way. You've got to really get stuck in and try and find some content. But yeah, we talked about 4 years since lockdown. That's fun. Royal family drama. I mean, it was just my luck that I would be slating the royal family, and then the day of its release, or I think the Saturday, you know, Kate eventually gets diagnosed with an illness, and I remember sitting there just like, that is just my luck. That is just my luck in it. And it was just like, and it was one of the things that, one of the teasers that I posted on Instagram and TikTok as well, was about where I'm just thinking, oh God, I am so unlucky with that. Yeah, I mean, look, listen to it. All these podcasts are good. I think they're all good. I enjoy them all, but we've got to list them because there are some that are more enjoyable than the others. Number 8, ahead of SS7. We've got Blue Friday. Blue Friday. You know, the names of this I like. I'll tell you about how I get to the names like once we've done the list, because you're probably thinking that, Sam, how would you even figure out the names? I'll tell you in a second. But Blue Friday, it was Brit Awards weekend. Yeah, it was Brit Awards weekend, or the week after Brit Awards. Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson got announced, and of course the top 5 moments of the week. You know, as per, that's kind of just poppadoms it in Indian. They're gonna come, and when you get it, you love it. We love the top 5 moments of the week because you get some really nice stuff. But yeah, Brit Awards. Look, if you like Brit Awards, I found it pretty fun to talk about. To be fair, it was something that I've never really paid attention to, the Brit Awards, so it was nice. It was nice talking about that. Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. Always a laugh to talk about these influencer boxing fights. I'll be getting some heavy debates with my mates about it. It goes back and forth on a lot of things. But Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, you can't really go wrong with it. You can't really go wrong with that. Again, it might have been one of those weeks where, just like SS7, you're at lack of content, so you really got to rummage around. But hey, we still managed to make 30 minutes of good podcast. There's something to take away from it. Number seven, I've gone for The Podcast Strikes Back. This was only a few weeks ago. We had Sign Your Life Away to Timu, Zombie Apocalypse, and then obviously the top 5 best moments of the week. I'm just not going to say that anymore because it's in every single episode. But Sign Your Life Away to Timu, I thought that was really fun to talk about. I had such a laugh because it was the conversations beforehand about it as well, about Timu. Like, when I was talking with my mates, it's so funny because, I mean, just read the terms and services, guys. Make sure you do that with every single reward thing, because you will be signing your life away with Timu. And in all fairness, that's probably not a very good idea, is it? Zombie Apocalypse is always a nice conversation to talk about. Zombie Apocalypse. Where would you stay? I went with IKEA. I don't know where you guys went off with it as well. But look, good laugh. 7, I think it's strong. When we get to about like 20, 30 episodes, are probably going to be higher up the list, because I think these are some solid podcasts. Although, if some of the earlier podcasts are quite high up on the list, I would hope that they wouldn't be in the future, because I want to get better. I do hope that I better myself every time. Episode 6, we have Let's See Paul Allen's episode. Again, I enjoyed this one because of the theming of it, the name and that, and like the teaser for it. I thought it was really good. Biscuit talk. I love a good. I love a good tier list. I don't want to incorporate it too much because I don't want to be like a stereotypical podcast. But biscuit talk, can't go wrong with that. You always get a good conversation with biscuits. The amount of people that are talking to me after about my choices, deal with it. There was a couple ones missed out, but then I laid my case to whether it was a biscuit or not. I was talking about out and out biscuits, not like wagon wheels. I mean, count them as a biscuit, but they're not out and out biscuits. They're not in my book. You don't find them in the biscuit jar, do you? But then it was Carabao Cup Sunday. I know, some people don't like listening to the football, which is fair enough. But it happened. There were some good moments as well. And obviously, the recurring thing, top 5 moments. Yeah, I need to stop saying that. Sam, come on, stay to your word that you just said in two episodes ago on this list. But then we have episode 5, and I've gone with Back Again. Of course, that was the first guest on the podcast. We had Ellis, Super Bowl review. We had that whole week of Taylor Swift versus the 49ers. I thought that was, I really enjoyed this episode. It was 50 minutes long, to be fair. Quite a while, but it did get quite a few people listening to it. And I've always thought about getting a guest on, but it's so hard because I want to figure out something where you can talk to a guest instead of just having them, because I thought when we did the festival tier list, I quite enjoyed doing that. It was good seeing about other festivals, discovering what they were about. And then the Super Bowl is quite good to talk about as well, because we both watched it together. I enjoyed that episode. I enjoyed making it. It's always a good laugh when someone else is in the Sam Show studios. You can never beat it. Number 4, the beginning, the thing that started it all off. Episode 1, the beginning. Yeah, I thought it was really good. You know, talking about Taylor Swift and the Super Bowl, Twitter. That was good. I enjoyed making that one. It was just going across Twitter, finding some stupid videos, talking about the Super Bowl as well. It was good. I enjoyed making it. It was the first one for nostalgia as well. In fact, we didn't have top 5 moments of the week. We were still in the development stage. But we didn't have top 5 moments in the week. I really enjoyed it. I don't know whether you guys did. Hopefully it's high up on your list. And then here we are, on to the next one. The top 3. This is the top 3 out of the 9. Out of the 9 that we've recorded so far, not including this one. The top 3. We have Podcast Royale. Podcast Royale, I think, which episode was that? I'm going to have a look here. I did have it up, but my phone keeps turning off. It was episode 3. So episode 3, early doors with that. Sidemen documentary, that was good to talk about. Business Bros is always funny to talk about. I love it. I love talking about people like that. Well, to be fair, I'm kind of just bullying kids in a way when I do that. You know, people trying to like chase their dreams and stuff. But that was good. I enjoyed making Podcast Royale. Episode 3, it was early doors. Then number 2 on the list. I've got that right. Number 2 was 6 Times Lad. Yeah, 6 Times Lad. Eddie Abu, the Oscars, all fun to talk about. Eddie Abu, the clips and stuff were absolutely hilarious. He's just a funny guy in general. The Oscars as well, there was some fantastic moments in that. Good episode for clips, I thought. Good laugh. As per, but I hope that's with every show where it's a good laugh, really. I hope every show is a good laugh. And number one, the most recent episode. The most recent episode is, of course, Jurassic Podcast. Well done. You are number 1 on the Sam's Sam Show list. Applause. Of course, that's a live crowd we have in the studio because we've actually gotten that big now through these 10 episodes. That was the live audience. But yeah, Jurassic Podcast. Again, I enjoyed it. I enjoy making every single podcast. To be fair, I never get a point where I dislike making a podcast. It's mint. I enjoy it. Even if it's struggling for content in a week, it's still really, really good, isn't it? It's still good. I love doing it. We talked about the Crime League table. I think that was just so fun to talk about on the basis of it's such a stupid idea, and the fact that we were even talking about it, I just found funny. And then UK Fashion Roads as well. We had that Cooper guy. Yeah, it was good fun. I enjoyed it. And the names of the podcast, you're probably thinking, Sam, how do you think of the names of the podcast? Honestly, I just sit there because when you see the teasers on social media, make sure you're following on Instagram and TikTok, by the way. The _Sam_show4. There you go. TikTok, Instagram, to make sure you're looking at the clips. But you know, the names kind of just come. They kind of just come to me. I'm sat there trying to make the teaser, and I'm like, or like the trailer, if you will. I'm sat there thinking, oh, what should I base it off? Sometimes I just get a bit of music, flash up a bit of yellow sometimes. But then again, I like for example, for this one's based off The Rock. We had WrestleMania recently. That's why. Stuff like that, it's pretty easy, to be fair. Just think of something, think of an iconic clip or a bit of music. Boom, whack that in. There we go. Podcast Strikes Back, Star Wars, Jurassic Podcast, you know, Blue Friday. Let's see Paul Allen's episode. That's one I'm really proud of. Let's see Paul Allen's episode with the little card scene with the bits flashing up. Although there is a spelling error, so make sure you go look at that teaser and try and see if you can find the error. But yeah, there's the top 9. It's gonna get better. We are only going to get better. The only way is up. When we get a little bit more free time, we can get a little bit more creative. Hey, I tell you what, it's going to be absolutely banging. It's the time of the episode that we all love. It's the top 5 moments of the week. Yes, 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 yes. Just so much stuff happens, and I love it. Just find some really weird stuff. It's great. I've said top 5 a lot in the past 10 minutes as well because of talking about it in the episode tier list. But yeah, top 5 moments of the week. It's brilliant. We all love it. Let's be real. And let's get talking about them straight away. Let's get talking about them now. Enough of me rambling on. Right. The first moment of the week. And to be fair, it wasn't within the last week. I'll hold my hands up. It wasn't in the last week. It was on the Thursday before last episode's podcast, but then I only saw the video on the weekend. It was. So in Manchester, they had the Darts Premier League, which was on last night as well. We've got the Darts Premier League on. And there's this brilliant video. It's a bunch of Where's Wally's fighting whilst Gerwyn Price is currently completing a 9-darter. Here's the clip. Well, I mean, if you could just picture two Where's Wally's fighting whilst a 9-darter is going on in the background. I love that video. Find the video if you can. It's fantastic. It's brilliant. Oh, man. Where's Wally's fighting during a 9-darter? That is only happening at the darts, isn't it? Only happening at the darts. Second moment of the week. I found out Gary Barlow has a TikTok. And it's probably some of the most menacing things I've ever heard in my life. Go watch videos because it adds to it, but just listen to the audio.
Hey everyone, hope you've all had a great summer. We've got so much to do between now and Christmas. We cannot wait. And I know you can't wait as well, but it's coming. So look out, we're coming your way. See you soon.
There's just something so sinister about it. So sinister. Watch the video as well because it kind of helps when you see his face and you'll understand what I mean. But I feel a little bit uncomfortable. Listen to this one.
This is my idea of a very nice day out.
Yeah. So weird. And he's there. He clasps the camera with two hands at the end, which makes it a little bit weirder. But look at it. You'll find it on TikTok. It's menacing. It's really uncomfortable as well. Third moment of the week. Saw this. Popped up on Lad Bible. I was like, this looks mint. A sangria in a bath. So this lady has a massive wine glass. Starts pouring loads of ice into it. She makes a massive sangria. Then she pours it into a bath. God, that'd be mint for a party, wouldn't it? You'd have to absolutely clean out the bath because you'd have all sorts chilling in the bath. All sorts of bacteria in that bathtub. You have to clear it out. But what an idea for a party. I always see it like with a sink or something when you have one of those deep sinks in your kitchen to put everything in and you get a cup and just come scoop it out. What a fantastic idea. I'm going to take that into notes for my next party. Maybe not in a bath, but perhaps in the sink. Not a bad idea. Fourth moment of the week. Rishi Sunak wears Sambas. In a recent video or photo, Rishi Sunak was wearing the white Sambas, you know, the ones that everyone has because it's like the new release of them. And he actually had to come out and apologise. He came out and apologised for the fact that he was wearing Sambas, but he also did say in his apology that he's been wearing them for a while as well. I think they're fine. Rishi, go wear your Sambas. I think they suit really nicely with your suit. Fifth, the last moment of the week. The last moment of the week, and this is the weirdest one yet. Because I don't understand. This guy has a tuna phobia. Literally, at the thought of tuna, at the word of tuna, he gets told that he eats tuna, and listen to how he freaks out.
Did you like dinner today?
Yeah, why?
Did you? No. Try something new.
What?
Secret ingredient.
What?
Tuna.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't, Morgan. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Just in the finger.
You didn't do that.
Wow. He's there shouting at his missus, I assume, over tuna. Over the fact I might have eaten tuna. I've never seen that before. A phobia of tunas. Oh, a tuna. That is really weird. That is very, very weird. But hey, everyone has different types of phobias and stuff. If you're scared of tuna, be scared of tuna. I'm not personally. I eat out of tins all the time. But look, guys, they're your top 5 moments of the week. Episode 10, how was that? We are done, dusted, 10 in, we're into double figures now. I mean, are we going to make triple figures at some point? I mean, depends how well it does. We might get our own show on something in the future. That'd be good, wouldn't it? But look, if you made it this far, thanks so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's had a good start to your day. Or it's just made your day better. If you're listening to it later on in the day, hopefully it's made your day better. Have a good Friday if you're listening on to Friday. Have a good day if you're listening on any other day of the week. But that's all. Episode 10. This is Sam signing off. Make sure to follow on social media. Instagram, Bert_Sam_show4. It's exactly the same on TikTok as well. So you'll remember it easily. No messing about there. And then on Twitter, if you fancy following us on Twitter, the Sam Show 4. But guys, thanks for making it this far. Thanks for listening. Make sure you're here for episode 11. Same time next week. Guys, have a good day in a bit.